Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but today we're going to talk about using the brand new model Cato Ezekiah. Now, Cato Ezekiah is a brand new miniature coming out this coming weekend, and he has some cool rules that are now downloadable from warhammercommunity.com. In this video, we're going to talk about using this miniature on the tabletop, because while he has a brand new novel coming out from Black Library, which we will have a review out as soon as we can, he also has this amazing new miniature to represent the model. Now, he is a Soulblight Gravelords named character, so we're going to talk about building a Soulblight Gravelords army to get the most out of Cato Ezekiah. This is definitely not going to be the most competitive list in the world, but this is the model you want to use and you end up liking the story and the character. This is definitely something you can look to use on the tabletop. So, with that said, like I said, he's a Soulblight Gravelords named character, however, he's not affiliated with any sub-faction, so you can choose freely when selecting one for your army. This is pretty cool, because to get the most out of Cato, I do think there are definitely some sub-factions I like more than others. On top of that though, he is a wizard. He can cast and unbind a single spell per turn, and his War Scroll spell allows him to do mortal wounds to enemy units, and is better when gunning against chaos keyword models, or it can heal friendly death units around him. He can also heal after doing damage MLE, much like normal vampires, and he also has the ability to choose a variety of special rules at the start of each hero phase, which can either increase his movement to a whopping 14 inches, give him a +1 to casting, unbinding, and dispelling, or choose to allow him to do mortal wounds on his damage rolls. So how the mortal wounds work is really interesting too, is if an attack made by this unit wounds the target, that attack causes a number of mortal wounds to the target equal to the weapon's damage characteristic, and the attack sequence ends. So there's definitely some things we can do to play around with him, I think, that can make him quite fun. And so looking at some units we can use to bring in alongside Cato, and I think a great supporting cast hero for Cato Ezekiah is a Necromancer. He has a lot of abilities that work around bringing back models, and he generally seems like he's going to want, some minions around him. He's that sort of character. Now, a Necromancer is pretty cool. First of all, it has a ward save when it's near some undead minions, so it's pretty easy. It brings another wizard to the table with generally a better wizarding lore than the vampire's lore. And he's also got the spell Van Hell's Dance Macabre, which can allow a unit to double attack in the combat phase, which is really cool. So a solid support character and a good second option there alongside Cato. Now, looking at units, we've got Deadwalker Zombies and Death Raider Skeletons. I think this is a conversation we're going to constantly have for Death, which one of these two units is better, and I do think they provide different things, especially at smaller games in 1,000 points. I think units of Deadwalker Zombies are really fun. They can put out a decent amount of hurt while not being able to take too much in return back. On the opposite hand, Death Raider Skeletons aren't quite as offensively good, but are much more survivable than your zombies, especially with things like bounty hunters rocking around the table now. So I think playing with both things, having the unit options, being able to protect those zombies which can deal quite a bit of mortal wound damage, I think is really important. This is where your skeletons can certainly come in, protecting your zombies in the backfield. Now, alongside these, we have Graveguard, which I think are just a really fun unit to bring to the table for your army. They can be really cool. They can get quite a bit of damage coming out of those great white blades. If they go 2 attacks, 3s to hit, 4s to wound, rain 1 damage 2. Remembering if they can go in a bounty hunters battalion, they could potentially be nice damage 3 with the potential to do mortal wounds in there in addition to any other damage. I think it's just a really nice option for the unit. 3 damage every 6, potentially doing additional mortal wounds, I think is a really solid, powerful unit there for the Graveguard. On top of this, it's slightly better than regular skeletons. They can go to a 4-up save base if you choose to take those crypt shields and go with the regular crypt blade or white blade weapons, which will just be damage 1, but will wound on a 3 rather than the 4, so some nice stuff there. But base 5 save, I really like Graveguard. I think they bring a lot of damage potential to the table and really sort of that nice sort of midway point between the damage output of zombies and the survivability of the skeletons. And so here we have our sample army list. We've gone, obviously, with the Soulblight Gravelords, and we're playing in the Castellar Dynasty. Now, I think this is a really interesting dynasty for Cato. A big thing for me in this is, why we've gone for this, is because we're trying to make Cato the centerpiece of this force. So he gets the most out of the Castellar Dynasty, and can be really cool, watching him level up, essentially, during the course of the game, which I think is a really fun thing to do. Grand strategy is no place for the weak, trying to destroy our enemy's battle line. With Galatian veterans and stuff on the table, we're generally going to be trying to destroy battle line units regardless, and no triumph because we are a perfect 1,000 points. Now, Cato Hezekiah is going to be in our leader options. He's not going to be our general, because why would you make him the general? You can pick other units. I know it's not the most narrative option, but at the moment this is sort of how the game runs. And so we've gone for Amethystine Pinions to give him an extra 6-inch move, which can be really nice. He can actually get up to like 20 inches of movement with choosing to use the right one of his different powers, giving him the move 14, and then also Amethystine Pinions as well. It can be a really nice spell there for him. Now, we've then got a Necromancer who's going to be our general and have the command trait Master of Magic. Then we've got the Artifact Fragment of the Keep, which is a -1 to wound bubble of 6-inch around the Necromancer. It can be really cool for helping our units still to stay alive a little bit better. And then we've got the Spell Decrepifier on this model as well. I think in a time where we've got Bounty Hunters coming around on the table, this could be a really cool thing of -1 damage, sort of making units not quite as good at taking out our more vulnerable units. Speaking of those vulnerable units, we've got 2 units, 10 Death Rattle Skeletons. They're going to provide some nice screens, especially for the 40 Deadwalker zombies we're going to be taking on the table, which are generally going to be rocking around with the Necromancer. We've then got 2 units of 10 Graveguard. You can go White Blades and Crypt Shields or go the Great White Blades. It's really a personal preference at this point on what you want to do. But either way, we've put both of them into a Bounty Hunters, giving them the +1 damage regardless which way you go. I think they're a solid option. And then we've got an Emerald Lifesworn to finish out the list, just giving us an extra little bit of healing on top of Cato's ability to do it already. The Necromancer will provide some as well. And of course, Gravesites and stuff like that. So we've then got the 2 battalions as mentioned, Bounty Hunters and Expert Conquerors. All our battle line is Galatian veterans in Expert Conquerors, which is really fun. We've got 91 wounds on the table, which is pretty solid for 1,000 points. 1 out of our 2 reinforced units, and we are 7 drops. If you've got some thoughts on Cato Hezekiah, leave them down in the comments below. I can't wait to see a whole bunch of lists using him. He looks like a ton of fun to use on the tabletop. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappy390. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now, everyone.